Well, everybody, I would like to welcome everybody to our first town hall of 2016. It is also our start event, formerly known as pre-compression. So we'll be, showing everybody a little bit of the art that will be at the festival this year, and we have a lot of information to cover regarding Element 11 this year and the changes that are being made with us going to an all-ages event. And we have Wynn that is going to discuss the meeting that he had with the Box Elder County Sheriff's Department. So I'm going to go ahead and give the time to Wynn.
This is your intro.
Alright, so most of you know that we've decided to go to an all-ages event. One of the major concerns about that decision was our ability to protect or
Or walk down here.
Yeah, there you go, that'll help.
Stand out here.
One of the major concerns was that we wouldn't radically change the event, and people would have to radically change their behavior if we allowed kids, particularly as that pertains to self-expression, including things like nudity. As a board, as a community, we had a lot of discussions, including attorneys in our community and law enforcement in our community. Believe it or not, we do have cops who are serious burners in our community. And generally had confidence that we could have kids at the event and we wouldn't need to dramatically change what we're doing. People wouldn't dramatically have to change what they're doing as far as expression. But we wanted to follow up with the local sheriff on that because the law is out there, but as we all know, law enforcement is kind of how they enforce a law. It's somewhat up to them and their impression of the law and their perception of you. Yeah. I thought I was going to sit on my butt doing this. Anyway, I made an appointment with the local sheriff's department. Ended up talking about an hour, which was about 45 minutes longer than I planned to talk to them, but it was a good discussion. They were friendly. I thank them for their assistance last year. They did respond to a few incidents last year that some of you may have seen. There was one incident that we weren't aware of. Does anyone here want to fess up to who tried to ride their bike to the event last year? I think it's an awesome idea, but there were two guys that did it. They tried to ride their bike from Salt Lake City to the event, but they got out in the middle of nowhere and lost cell service and lost GPS signal. They realized they were in big trouble, and they abandoned their gear, which apparently was some pretty nice gear, and I think they may have, I'm not sure they abandoned their bikes, but they abandoned a big pile of really nice gear and left sort of a dire sounding note. If anybody finds this, please call so-and-so. And the sheriffs did find that after our event, and when they found it, they were pretty concerned that they had two dead bodies out in the desert.
Oh my gosh!
Until they were able to make contact with the number on the note. And it turns out whoever it was able to hitchhike all the way back to Salt Lake City. They made it to our event. They just made it without their gear and without their bikes. And I guess their gear got back to them, the sheriff was able to contact them. Anyway, yeah, so the sheriff wanted to remind everyone that the cell service out there is very weak, and often it's not there at all. So don't assume that you can find the event or find where you're going on your cell phone. Let's see. It was interesting. We talked about the event and their perception of the event, and it turns out that he had watched. I didn't actually talk to the sheriff. I talked to the chief deputy sheriff, who'd we talked to before. But both the sheriff and everybody there is very, very aware of our event. The guy that I talked to had actually watched Spark with his wife.
Cool.
And he said, it looks like quite a spectacle. With a smile on his face. And I promptly invited him to our event, but he was non-committal. So we talked a bit. They seemed to have a good perception of us. And then I brought up that we were switching over to an all-ages event. Discussed that parents will be in charge of their children, and I guess we should reinforce this with everyone here now. Children will not be allowed to run feral. There'll need to be an adult with any children that are there. We're developing policies, wristbands, things like that to keep track of children and take care of the kids. But I did say, but children may encounter the occasional naked volleyball game or outrageous costume that doesn't cover every little naked dangly bit. And the sheriff acknowledged that they respect our event. They respect our space. Right now we have a pretty good relationship with them. They consider it a closed event and on private property. The analogy that he used is that they consider it like a family reunion. And unless there's a problem, they don't have an issue with what we're doing. He did say, like a family reunion, if you've got that uncle that drinks too much and starts causing problems, then it will get their attention.
Uncle Jared.
But they've got a pretty good feeling. I think they're still kind of cautiously curious of who we are and what we're doing, but that was his response. Actually, their bigger concern is that we're a significant expense to their budget. Last year they had no idea who we were, so they double staffed their crews out there in that part of the county.
Did that make them bi-curious?
Double curious.
Yes. He said based on how the event went last year and how they saw us handling the things that did come up, they're going to reduce that about 60%, but they do feel like they need to ramp up their staffing during the event. So there will actually be most likely a higher permit cost when we go to get a permit from the county. We haven't worked that out yet, but that's coming down the line. I do want to reiterate that they had a good perception of us out there. Snowville noticed that we spent money there. They noticed that we bought gas.
Cool.
They also, in his words, thought that they liked the spectacle as we came through.
Bunch of weirdos.
They noticed that we spent money. I think we got fuel and a generator from someone in Brigham City, and the sheriff was aware of that. They're aware that we're spending money there.
Cool.
So I'd want to remind everybody to spend money, be nice, wear
I
your
guess
Allen
there.
11 t-shirts. If you are obviously part of the Allen 11, be nice, and just keep it up. And as part of that, we've also been developing more policies and procedures to deal with kids, and I think that's where I hand it off to Carrie.
Thanks, Win.
All right. Yes. So, one of the big focuses with inviting kids to our festival or opening it up to having kids at our festival, we really want to make sure that everyone is safe. Kids included, participants over 18 and under 18. So, as Wynn mentioned, we are going to be having child registration, kind of like what happened at Decompression this last year and the year before, or whenever it was that we were partnered with Equinox. So the kids will have a wristband that is numbered, and then the forms are stored at the ranger station, so that in case there is a lost child, we'll be able to locate them, locate their camp, locate their parent, things like that. So there's lost children and then there's wandering children, so those are two separate things. So we're coming up with policies on how to deal with actual lost children. That's Wynn might be able to talk a little bit more about this, but that's when we would shut down the entire festival. Nobody could leave or come in or things like that until that child was located. So that's very much like what Burning Man does in the event of a lost child. Wandering children are they're treated a little bit differently. That's just like, it's still a serious situation, but it doesn't shut down the entire event. So part of the policies that we are writing is, let's see, the child registration, the lost child protocol. Part of the lost child protocol does have to do with children always being accompanied by an over 18 person. So even an 18 or 17 and a half year old person has to be with their parent or guardian or somebody else that is considered responsible. We're not going to require that parents are always with their kids. You can say, my friend is going to watch my child for me so I can go out. That's appropriate, that's fine, but as long as that child is with an adult. Let's see, we're also putting into an effect an alcohol policy. This kind of, maybe Johnny can talk a little bit more about this if you'd like, about alcohol in public spaces. But basically, we're going to be not allowing alcohol to be distributed from public spaces. So that's places like Center Camp and things like that. Your own private theme camps, totally fine. You want to mention anything else?
Yeah, so we're just basically keeping with the principle of Burning Man, where Element 11 is not providing entertainment at the event. What Element 11 is providing is a space for radical, inclusive expression. And so with that, everyone has their private camps, right? We see theme camps, we see a whole bunch of things, but one of the concerns that we have is there are spaces that Element 11 is responsible for, such as where the effigies are, Center Camp, and those areas, it would be incredibly inappropriate for alcohol to be distributed, even shared in those spaces. Where you would want to keep alcohol sharing is in the rightful space, which is your private camp, because that's what you're there to do, is to have your private camp. And so it's not really brain surgery, it's just making sure that those types of activities are occurring where they should occur. But obviously you would be able to have alcohol in the public spaces, but just not providing it in those spaces.
Thank you. And then we're also going to be posting a participant code of conduct, and that's been something that we've kind of talked about for quite some time. It basically just says, be good to yourselves and to each other and things like that. Don't harm anybody, don't do things that are potentially harmful to other people and things like that. A lot of the regional events across the US have participant codes of conduct. It's kind of like no-brainer, but sometimes you have to have it written down so that you can refer to it.
That's like so you can evict properly,
Yeah.
correct? Is that kind of...
Yep. And then we're also writing a warnings and ban policy. So for the people that are behaving in an inappropriate manner that's threatening to somebody else or threatening the safety of another participant and things like that, you may get a letter from Element 11 if an instance occurs or something like that where you might just be on a warning list, you might be banned from the festival for a year or for however long. We're still working out all the details of that. And I think that's about it. Anything else? Any other policies we've been writing? So these hopefully will be finalized. Johnny needs to look at them, things like that. And we'll hopefully have them up on our website in the next couple of weeks. So, all right.
All right, and I will go over financials and ticket information for this year. So we currently have $101,264.94 in our checking account and $10,082.23 in our savings. In our checking account, we have a sponsorship agreement with the RC Group, and so $4,895.49 is the RC money, which they use to fund or to put on like the spring burn and decompression and any art grants that they want to give out. We have $528.88 in our petty cash account. Oh, so RC is our regional contact group. So there are 5 regional contacts in Utah who are representation from Burning Man, and there are Bobby Gittins, Jillian Rawcliffe, Horace Milheim, Pam Hammond, and John Ward.
So where did the money that's in there come from?
So the funds that they have available have come from different events that they have done in the past, decompression, the tree burn last year, and then the movies that they've been doing at Irby's. They do give half of those funds collected is a fee that they have to give back to Burning Man, but the other half is to keep. So far, year to date, our income is $79.41.
Is that from Amazon Smile?
Yeah, $69.30 is from Amazon Smile, and $10.11 is our interest.
Amazon Smile.
Yeah, shop on Amazon Smile. Our expenses, total expenses so far is $1,959.96, and so our net income is negative $1780.55. And so I did want to talk a little bit about ticket sales. So we will be holding our Burner Day in the Park event on May 7th, and you can pre-purchase your Element 11 ticket in cash at that event. They'll go on sale on May 8th online, and at Iconoclad they'll go on sale on May 8th as well. Iconoclad will be cash only. Now to allow for the continued art grant, we are granting 30 grand this year, which is 23% more than we granted last year.
Since there's room up here if anyone wants to come and sit down in front. The people that are way in back, there is some space up here. If you're comfortable sitting on the floor, some people are, some people aren't.
We like to be in the back.
Or not.
So to allow for us to have a continued art grant growth, we've extended the festival by 1 day. We want everyone to be able to have more fun at our event. We have increased the ticket cost, and that'll help pay for, as Wynn mentioned, for our permits, the porta potties and generators for the extra day, as well as the venue cost, our medical costs, etc. I do want to let you know that allowing children at our event has not made any impact to the increase of our ticket cost at all. But the ticket cost for Element 11 2016 is going to be $125 this year. Lottie might go, whew, which I heard. I do want to let you know, in the past we have not increased our ticket prices in a really long time. It was 6 years? Yeah. In 6 years. So before we were paying, you guys were paying we are all paying $90 for a 3-night event, which was $30 a day. We are now paying $125 for 4 nights, so it's $31.25 a day. So we're only paying $1.25 extra to have an extra day at the event. It sure does.
I want it extra.
Okay, so get
Way
excited
better
about
than
your tickets.
$390 for Burning Man for a week.
Yeah.
There is one thing I want to mention before we're talking about financials. I don't know if you guys have heard of Love Utah, Give Utah.
Oh yeah.
There's an organization called the Utah Community Foundation. Did you just talk about this and I missed it? Or
No, I
do you wanna-
registered us.
Oh, do you want to
So
tell
we're on.
people about it?
I don't know a lot about
Okay,
that,
so
yes.
basically, the Utah Community Foundation does a day of giving for Utah called Love Utah, Give Utah. And it's on March 31st, so it's coming up soon. So go to loveutgiveut.org and you can find the page that is specific to Element 11 and you can share that around. And based on participation as far as shares and likes and engagement on Facebook, as well as based on participation of monetary donations, there are also extra bonus cash prizes for the nonprofits that participate in that. And Element 11 is a 501c3 nonprofit, so if you make a donation, it is a tax write-off for you, as well as for anyone that you share it with. So if your employer does charitable contributions, then you can share that with them and point it out to them. But we can also qualify for matching funds if we perform well on that. So on the 31st of this month, but go and find it right away and start sharing it and pumping it up. And you can actually, if you're worried you won't have time, you can go on today, you can schedule that payment. That payment will happen on the 31st and it'll count towards us winning the prizes. So go and share that around and use social media to help us raise more money for art.
A lot of us are here today to review all the art grant recipients. And so after our town hall, it will go into our START event. And David and I will be walking around, and as long as you have signed your art grant contract, we'll be writing out your art grants today.
For those who ever have to deal with me, I'm the local attorney. I represent, there's more of you in this room that I like to think that I know, because I represent a lot of people in this room. And one thing that, as a 501c3, those of you that might be on probation, God forbid, if you're on probation and you have community service hours that need to be done, it's perfectly fine to do those through Element 11. And we've already had the discussion.
Now I'm gonna be in trouble. What can I do wrong?
One of the ways it's nice to do that, say for instance, if you volunteered, even if it was supervised by the board, if there's a director of a theme camp or an art exhibit, it would be perfectly fine for them to report your hours, and that would be perfectly fine to sign those off. So just talk to whoever the people while you're working with, or ask to be involved. Terry Larson is the right person, and that's a great way for everyone to gain from that.
Cool.
So, and to add to that, so I have a volunteer sign-up sheet too. So if anyone wants to sign up today, I can add you to the list and send you information. The volunteers are going to start becoming more and more engaged now. And then if any of the artists also want some volunteer sign-up forms, you know, so for you guys just with your own projects to collect volunteers, I have some sign-up sheets for that too. So this is a great time to, you know, tell people, hey, we need builders, we need this help on these days. So highly encouraged. And just come find me if you want to sign up.
And we could always use more rangers. Talk to Mindy. And we really need medical this year. Talk to JP or me. I'll leave it there.
All right, my turn. Who wants to talk about art? So, welcome to START. This is the art show formerly known as Pre-Compression. It's a little different format. Before, we had done it with the people who were trying to apply for grants, and they would come here, show off what they want to bring, raise some more money. This year, we actually gave out or finished the grant process about a month earlier than normal, and that's to help the artists get their fundage ahead of time and get their builds going. So all the groups here and all the artists are encouraged, and you guys can go help them out if they need build crews. You know, they'll tell you about their build schedules. You can sign up and help each individual project that you want to. They also all need more fundraising, of course, because we couldn't grant all of the money. I think we had about $68,000 requested. Like Cassie said, we gave out $30,000 this year. 23% more than ever, but we still couldn't give everyone what they needed. So if someone needed $5,000, we gave them $2,000. We all need to help give them the rest of the money to get their project out there. So go around, check them all out, help them out. Check out Center Camp. We have a table over there, so you can sign up if you want to do performances or workshops, or if you want to be on the build crew, decor crew, things like that. Another thing I want to say, we're going to announce, we're probably going to put up online in the next couple days, kids art grants, and we'll have that open probably for about a month. We dedicated $500 towards kids grants. So we encourage you guys, if you have kids and they're planning on coming, get them excited about doing some art. Have them submit for it. You know, think of things like $50, $100. They want to do a little costume contest or some drawing or some crafts, something like that. So $500 for kids specific grants. And like I said, we'll post that up in the next couple days. What else do we want to talk about the tickets? Yeah, also, since we kind of came in and had the town hall before the start event, we're asking $10 suggested donation for the event, and that goes towards Element 11 Arts. We'll have someone up at the front door, so if you want to go up there and, you know, on our system, go up there and give your donation if you want to. I think that's it. Let's check out the art. We're giving out one ticket, 2 tickets, 1 ticket. Okay. So make sure you get your raffle tickets up there.
We also have 2 tickets for the Fire Tribes fundraiser that they donated to a raffle as well today. So, yeah.
And then we're gonna have Acoma, I think, right after the meeting. Is gonna be performing right up here. So check that out. And then we're, weather permitting, I think Fire Tribe was gonna do something outside too. Or have some music. So maybe that was
fire safety and everything.
And so right now for the next 15 minutes or so, we're just gonna open this time up to questions, and we'll all do our best to answer them as much as we can.
I don't know if I heard if what the cost for children's tickets are. Are they the same?
They are the same.
Okay.
Yeah. There's still people coming through the door, so you can't pull the ticket.
Nobody have any questions about?
You guys were talking about Amazon Smile.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, so you can, when you log into Amazon, you do smile.amazon.com, and there's a button at the bottom that you get to pick any nonprofit to donate to, and 0.05% of your purchase will go to them. We receive it on a quarterly basis. It's exact same Amazon platform, so you just do smile.amazon.com, log in just as you would through your normal Amazon account, and on the left it'll say pick a organization. You select Element 11, and then it'll auto-save that for you. So anytime you go on to smile.amazon.com, you make your purchases, 0.05% will go directly to Element 11.
And it doesn't cost you anything, and it just goes straight into the art grants for us.
Yep.
It's a great program that that Amazon provides. It's almost silly that anyone would ever shop just Amazon.com because, yeah, it doesn't cost you anything, and it's just sort of their way, I think, of giving back to the community. And it's a great program. So.
You can't see the weird stuff we're ordering online though, right?
I know exactly what
You're going to be exposed.
Do you have a protocol for beach vehicles or art cars or anything like that?
Would you repeat the question?
Do you have any sort of protocol for mutant vehicles or art cars? Or...
Yeah, we have an art car elemental music vehicle policy. That's going to open up for registration soon, so we'll be posting that online shortly. But we do have policies to make sure the cars are safe and lit up at night and don't leak oil and things like that. Yeah, it is on the website actually right now too.
The policy is on the website. You can check it out. If you go to get involved and then art, it's in there. You can see the page for mutant vehicles.
Where is the best place to find information about Element 11? What is that website?
Element11.org.
Woo!
There's medical volunteer on that, right?
Yes, that's right.
Anybody else?
This is the question for one of the builders. How early can we go and build? Is that something that we obviously start
Out there?
Yeah, out there.
We built the city weekends.
Yeah.
Scheduled.
They're the 2 weekends prior to Element 11. So we really encourage modular building, kind of like what they do for Burning Man and things like that, where you build in town in modular units and then you take it out and you just like have an erection day.
So we built the city is planned for. We built the city is planned for July 2nd through the 4th, and and then the 9th and the 10th, and the event starts on the 13th.
Which day is it?
Any other questions?
Is it gonna be at the same exact location and same amount of area? Or are we expanding or what?
They're going 5 feet to the east.
10 degrees counterclockwise.
Yes, it will. So it'll be in the same area. The layout will change, but it will be the same area, same location, same space.
Same back today.
But we're pretty
Same
excited
trail.
about.
There'll be a trail off
Same bad space, same bad time.
west.
But we're pretty excited. We have some ideas about changing the layout of the festival. You know, last year was our first year at Stargazer Ranch, so it was great how it was, but our creative department has come up with some ideas on how to make it even more spectacular, to have the art accented by the natural beauty.
Well, we have so much more art, so we need more space for art too, so there's a lot of art.
Yeah, we are going to sell 1,300 tickets this year. I think we sold 1,200.
Our initial run was 1,200.
Yeah, so we again are trying, we don't have the infrastructure to really grow too much right now. We have to have ranger and medical support, and so we're really focusing on trying to continue to recruit for those departments specifically, and if we can get like an even more robust ranger department and medical department, then perhaps next year we could increase the ticket sales.
Organic growth.
Yeah.
Organic growth is the key. But yes, we'll have extra tickets.
Anybody else?
Are you gonna do gate sales this year?
Only if we don't sell all of the tickets at the before the event. I am assuming. I don't anticipate gate sales.
Get a long ways drive and find out you already
That is
longer
true.
drive.
Or right.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, if there's no more questions, we'll go ahead and do the drawing for the.
Did everyone put in their blue ticket?
Hurry fast, hurry fast.
Right on top.
Are we doing the first ticket for the 11 tickets, Sarah? Do it that one first and then hold for the water.
We all work.
Alright.
Oh, we got one more.
Last chance.
Bailey, do you want to pull up the ticket?
Right. Alright, close your eyes. Get all the way on camera. Dan Newbold. Dan
I'm not sure who is Dan Newbold. Okay. Will you find me after so I can get your contact information, please?
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, now
Thank
we're
you.
gonna do a drawing for the Fire Tribe donated 2 tickets to their fundraiser. On April 22nd.
It's a Friday, not a Saturday.
Friday at Area 51. So, should I give these to one person or should I do 2 drawings? What?
Do 2.
Alright. Jason, why don't you come up here and get your Fire Tribe ticket? Alright, we got one more lucky winner.
You never win.
Paul Marquin.
I'm There's an Andrew in the back there for UAA. Andrew. Andrew. I'll go see if he's in the office. He had some announcements for us.
Just one more minute. Andrew from the UAA wanted to make an announcement really quick while we're all still here.
Sing a song,
One other thing I wanted to say real quick, we do need rangers. Ranger training is going to be May 21st and 22nd. So we're not sure exactly where, but there is going to be ranger training. So pirates, I want to challenge you guys to become rangers. Get your friends to become rangers. All you got to do is 1 or 2 shifts, like 6-hour shifts. It's super easy. You help out the festival. We can grow. Wear your pirate outfit with your ranger badge and logo on it. You got it.
The pirates are volunteering Captain Cook over there. So he's going to be on
4 or 5 shifts, 27 shifts.
Every shift.
We'll give you an hour to play at the festival.
Not if we have more rangers, there's less shifts for everyone.
There's Andrew.
There you are.
All you.
People, cool. Hi guys, my name's Andrew. I work with Derek at the Utah Arts Alliance. And actually Derek's in Washington this week. He's doing some lobbying on behalf of the arts, meeting with all our representatives, convincing them why they should continue to bring public money into the arts. And I know he's probably telling them a lot about what you guys do. You know, the bits that he did. So I had a few things actually that Derek wanted to make sure that I communicate to you. First, forgive me, I'm getting over a cold, so I'm a bit out of breath in a second. So let me take a deep breath.
Yeah.
That's better. All right, so I want to remind you guys that you guys are in the Arts Hub here. We have artist studios for rent. In particular, actually, I've got a couple of really nice studios that I would love to rent that run anywhere between $300 and $800 a month rental for anything that you might want to do in there that's legal and hopefully arty. If you might be interested in taking a tour of them and finding a little bit more about them and what we do here and how you might become a part of it, let me know. If we can keep these studios rented, again, it helps us further the Arts Alliance's mission. The most important thing I want to tell you about is the Urban Arts Festival. If you haven't already heard, it's got a date or dates for this coming September 17th and 18th. It's going to be at the Gallivan Center this year. We're moving. We're not going to be in the Gateway Mall anymore. They were very sorry to hear that we're leaving. We're excited to establish a new partnership with the city. Really hope to see you guys there. It's going to be for over 2 days in September 17th and 18th. Again, this is Utah's largest free festival. Please come out, support it, and all the great things that we're going to have there. We're going to have a new custom car, custom culture area. We're going to be expanding our film festival, a festival of lights. We're even going to have a slam dunk competition amongst all the other great urban arts that you've come to expect from the festival. So please come out. With that said, we do have our call for artists. If you know, and please give us a hand. We really want to get a lot of great artists out to the festival this year. We have our application up online to put in your application to vend. It is a great big festival. We had 40,000 people come out last year for 1 day. We're definitely expecting a lot more this year. If you go over onto our webpage, utaharts.org, or our Facebook, you'll find a link to our application where you can fill that out. The deadline is May 13th. You guys can do us a really big solid by just letting all your arts friends know. You know, people kind of tend to put it off. This is a great time now as people are planning their summer festival series that they're going to vend at. You know, they can come and wind up in Salt Lake City for the end. So, you know, let all your friends know that we want to see them with their art in Salt Lake City. And last thing I just want to ask is we are going to need a lot of volunteers for the festival and also normal stuff that we kind of do here, you know, sort of year round. If you are available to help with the festival and would like to get on a list to get information about how you can be helpful, I've got a clipboard here. I'll leave it back there. Just throw your email on it. I won't bother you too much, but I'll bother you at the critical moment when we do need people to kind of come down again in September and help us put this whole damn thing together. That's all I wanted to say to you guys. Thank you very much.
Mark?
Just real quick, we're going to have a table here today registering people to vote.
Yeah!
Getting you oriented to your caucus locations on the 22nd of March so you know where to go.
At 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Please
Late.
vote.
Go.
Please vote.
We have to inject ourselves into our democracy and get some leadership in there that is responsible, that like us.
You could actually make a difference. You have to
Yeah.
register to be a Democratic vote.
Nope.
Everybody writing Joe.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you guys for coming out. And
Yeah,
thanks for your continued